Good morning, everybody. Hopefully, we're all doing well. Got our little miso cam up today. Was able to figure out a way to arrange it to catch her while she's on her cute little bed. Today, we're going to be working on this little poster here that I started yesterday. Hopefully, putting in some more of these like final lines. I'm gonna clean up some of this really quick. Gotta clean up my file because I kind of had stuff all over the place. Let me clear off this display capture really quick. There we go. Oh, that's weird. Alright, so what I usually end up doing is I'll just duplicate the line art and from there clean it up. I'm not gonna do that just yet because what I'll be working on is this background here. So I'm just gonna make a new layer. You guys can't see that I made a new layer, but I just made a new layer. And now we're gonna go in, we're gonna do the we're gonna do the back. Which is all of this sort of like whooshy lines and stuff. And to show you guys what I'm going to end up going for as far as like the look that I want, I will open up one of the other manga pages. I did this for one of the Onami pages and I really liked it. Let me open up that here so you guys can have like a reference for like what I'm about to do. It takes a long time to do. Here it is. So, and the background for this particular page, I had this like really cool sort of like, I don't know, like whoosh. And I want to replicate that in this because I really liked it. I think it looked really good, so I'm gonna basically do that. And for something as complicated as that, usually I'll put in sort of like the main like chunks or areas, like the borders between sections, because obviously there's going to be parts where the direction changes. And then another thing that I think is also really important is I always make sure I go over just a little bit, sort of like a little margin bleed, just because I'm not sure if that's where I'm going to lay the final fin. Just makes it a little bit easier, so maybe I don't have to redraw as much later. And this doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to be like roughly correct. So I saw, here we go. Here's another one. And then there's another one right here as well. And I will go in and I'll shade this in just to show you guys, like when I have areas that cross over like this, I find that it helps to thicken this a little bit to show that there's an overlap here. And I don't try to make these perfect. Like, I don't try to like make them like perfectly solid or whatever. I think it's a waste, a waste of energy personally. Because usually those kinds of small details aren't really going to be that noticed. And then from down here, let's see, this would come down here. There's no reason to really draw this here, to like connect these, there's no reason. It's going to connect behind Oma anyway, so there's no reason for that. And then there's another one. I don't think we see it. Let me see here. Ooh, interesting conundrum I've just noticed here. These go this way. You know, I'll just do that. I'll modify the sketch here. And they'll just go this way. And then up here will be probably where that diverges. Yeah, somewhere up there. So we'll put that here. Alright, so that'll cover the majority of the patterns here. And then I'll just have these go up. Yeah, we'll do that. Okay, cool. Alright, so that gives us the majority of our sections. And now you get to do the fun part. Now you just go in, and you draw it. This is the fun part. I'm gonna keep this up here on a different page, or actually, you know, let's put that over here, just so I can have it for reference. I'll move it over here so you guys can see it too. I think my lines are too thick. Let's thin them down a little bit. Oh yeah, they're at 60. That's way too big. Let's try like a 30. And let's bring the texture density a bit more. Let's see here. Ta-da-da. Rotate this a little bit. I find it easier to rotate the canvas rather than like trying to like twist your arm to make the shape that you want. The downside to that is it usually messes with the recording and it makes it hard for me to make time lapses. So what I'm probably going to end up doing is just like splitting the time lapses into smaller chunks, so I don't have to like speed them up as fast, so they don't get as like dizzying, I guess. Because I did get a lot of feedback about how, like on some of my shorts, that things were too fast and made people dizzy. I'm like, oh, okay. I hadn't thought of that. So that was really good feedback. So I'm gonna try to figure out ways to like still have time lapses, just not make them like as dizzying for people, because we do not want that. Miso just over there being a sleepy little girl. It's adorable, really. Take one sec. I'm gonna grab a photo of that. There we go. There we go. Sorry, I wanted to grab a photo of my cat sleeping. I promise I'm like an actual streamer. This is sort of where the sort of like numbingness just jumps in, where you're like, okay, I'm just gonna sit here and do this all day. Figured it'd be better to get this out of the way so I can do the cool stuff next time. Or later, I don't know. I don't know how far I can honestly get in an hour before I have to go to work. One thing you'll notice, I noticed this, blah, blah, English please. I noticed this about me too. I jump around in my canvas. I don't really like focus on one area and then finish it and then move on to the next one. I get very impatient. So I'll like jump around and go to different areas. Sorry if I sound like I am a chain smoker, I'm not. I just had a really bad cough today. Like it kept me up all night. I don't know if I'm getting sick. I hope not. I really hope not. Not when I have New York Comic Con around the bend. So it's very possible it could just be allergies or like another sinus infection, which I get a lot. So it could be any one of those things. I'm not super worried about it. Another tool that you can, let me turn this into blue. Turning things into, like, your sketch into, like, a different color. If you're struggling to see, like, your ink work over your sketch work, turn your sketch into a different color. Another thing that's really helpful is to sometimes draw with white. So, for example, like, this area is looking nice, but it looks a little bit crowded. But I don't want to, like, try to erase. I'll just grab white, or you can grab, like, clear, because you can do that in Clip Studio. And you can just draw with that to sort of, like, break it up. Oh, helps if I'm drawing on the right layer. You can draw with that to kind of help, like, break things up like this if you want to. That way you don't have to, like, try to, like, erase it. Because you don't usually get, like, the same brush shapes as the eraser. So just draw with clear is basically the same thing. And it can help add texture and variety to some of these lines. So they don't look so, like, overly perfect. Which I don't like my lines looking perfect. It bothers me, honestly. Like, it's too perfect. So I don't really like it. Hey, what's up? How you doing? Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. Yeah, hopefully it'll respect you. Chillin'? 2 weeks to do 10 pages? Nah, that's easy. Just, okay, here's what I did when I had to do Onami. Onami, I had to basically do 47 pages within, like, a 2 to 3 month time span. And what I did is, instead of breaking it down by pages, hi Hikari, instead of breaking it down by pages, I broke it down by panels, right? Because each page has, even though, like, a page is still the same surface area, like, drawing, like, each panel is, like, making its own individual drawing. And so, to make the workload more even, like, per day, what I did is I actually figured out how many panels of Onami that I had. It's 194. And I broke down how many panels I had to do each day versus how many pages I had to do each day. And that felt like the workload was a little bit easier, because I could feel okay knowing, oh, I didn't finish the page today, but I still did an equal amount of workload per day. And that made my life a lot easier. So when I'm looking at scheduling, like, how much I have to do per day, don't look at pages, look at panels. It makes the workload a little bit more, some people might say that if I have to draw a really big panel, it's different than drawing a small panel. And okay, like, that's fine. I personally found that easier. So maybe you could try that and see if that feels a little less overwhelming. Hey, Manga, what you talking? Yeah, try it. I tried it, and I felt like that worked a lot better for me. It definitely made it feel less overwhelming. Yeah, try it. See if it helps. What's really cool, like, or what was nice for me is like after I got through, or as I was going through and like doing the final pages, sometimes I cut out panels because I ended up, I'm like, oh, I don't need this panel. So then my workload got a little bit less. But you have to be consistent, and whatever that goal is, you have to meet it, right? So like you still got to get your work done. But as long as you're getting your work done, you have a more equal workload per day as far as the number of drawings you have to do each day. Because ultimately, that's how I view it. Is I view each individual panel as its own illustration. So, and finding a way to be a little bit more fair in the workload per day will definitely help you. Whoa, that was not the right angle for that. Not me struggling today. You know what? It's okay. Not every day is a good inking day. Today is not that day, and that's okay. It's probably because I haven't had my breakfast yet. I woke up a little bit later than I usually do. I had a rough night because I was coughing my brains out. It's alright. It happens. Let's focus on doing what we can instead of being upset about what I can't do. $37 panels. Okay, so you have 37 panels and you have 10 days. So that means you need to do 4 panels a day to get your work done on time. See, that feels a little bit more manageable. You have to do 4 drawings a day. That's it. My suggestion, however, would be to do all of your lettering first. The reason why, when I say lettering, I mean balloons, because your sound effects are usually part of the artwork. So my suggestion would be do your bubbles first. Like, set aside some time, get that done. That way you're not having to worry about the drawing, or not that way you're not having to worry about the lettering later. The lettering part is already done. Or at least, mostly done. I mean, you can always change your mind, when you finally get to that panel, go, oh, okay, well, this doesn't actually work. But that is a large amount of work, lettering. The last thing you want to do is to, go through all this work drawing and then still have to letter afterwards. So I would recommend doing that first if you can. Don't worry about the sound effects. Keep that part of the artwork. Just figure out where you want to place it in your sketch if you have it, in your boards if you haven't already. That would be my suggestion. Well, I think everyone handles it a little bit differently, because I don't have an assistant, and I'm literally a one-person team doing everything. And I have a full-time job, and I have classes, I had to figure out a way to, I guess, streamline it as best as I could. And for me, that worked really well. For some people, that may work terribly. I don't know, just that's what worked for me. Everyone's a little different, so hopefully it works for somebody. It makes someone else's life a little easier. no pipeline wizard. I'm just sharing what worked for me, that's all. Like I said, for other people, that kind of thing may not work very well. Or it may stress them out because ultimately it gives you a bigger number. Like if you look at your page per day, that's basically a page per day. You know, and like for some people, like that's really scary to see like 4 panels. The bigger number might stress them out. For me, it doesn't because I know that like it's not a whole page. So it's not as stressful. Just kind of depends on the person. Yeah, sure. Do I forget you weren't here yesterday? So this is a poster that I'm working on. Oh, let me zoom out a little bit more so you guys can see the whole thing. There we go. So, let me turn this off. It's a poster that I'm working on for Onami for fun. If you guys somehow don't know yet, which is possible, I got published with Viz, and I had this leftovers. This was originally going to be the cover for Onami, or something very similar to this, and I ended up going with a different cover, the one that I have now. And I was like, well, I really liked this sketch. I really liked this image, and I want to recycle it somehow. And so I'm like, you know what? Let me do a poster of it. And for the poster, I want to try to do it in like an okami style, possibly. I haven't decided just yet. So I'm doing the background first. So yeah, I thought it would be a really fun poster. Yeah. You know, and if Onami gets a series, cool. Like, this could be really fun promo art for it. If it doesn't, that's okay. I can still make the poster. I own the rights to my series, so I can still do what I want with it. So maybe it could just be something fun. Oh my god, Queen, slay. I wish. I will never do that again, sorry. I will never do that again. Just kidding, I will absolutely do it again, eventually. Helps if I'm on the right layer. Wrong layer! It's the wrong lever, it's wrong layer. Noise. Hikari, what, you working on something? What's everybody doing? I guess let's ask everybody. What's everybody working on? What's everybody doing? Anyone else getting ready for the workday? I have a couple articles I have to put together today. And then, what else am I, oh gosh, what else am I doing today? My homework, my Japanese homework. I gotta do that. Unfortunately, the app is also region locked. My apologies. I sincerely apologize to you. I completely forgot that the app was region locked. Otherwise, I would have warned you in advance. I'm so sorry. That's why I was showing some of the pages yesterday. Bye, Digi. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. Bye. Good luck. You can do it. I need to, like, get a cute little, like, you can do it thing to, like, display on my streams. When people leave or people have to go to work or do whatever. Let's see. Are you working on pages too? Nice, nice. What's your series about? Yeah, and I would send stuff to you, but then that would make me a pirate of my own series, and I really don't want to do that. So I'm sorry. I'm definitely not gonna pirate my own series. Actually, it has been done. Merryweather, like the webtoon, pirated their own series. They themselves uploaded it to Manga Dex, I think. Um, yeah, they had fully admitted to that. Hi, Miso. Hi, Miso. I love how as soon as you say that, she gets up and leaves. Miso. You want to come sit on the desk with me? Would you stop knocking stuff over? That tail of yours just knocks everything over. Oh my god, stop. Your tail needs a brain so that it knows when it's knocking stuff over. Oh my god, Miso, you're so silly. She's now moved to lay on my desk. Yeah, Miso. She's mad at me, so she's facing away from me. Normally, she would lay her head on my hand, but now she's not doing that, so clearly she's mad at me. You're actually blocking me from using the keyboard. I need you to move, babe. There you go. See, this works much better, doesn't it? Don't touch the keyboard. There you go. You happy now, Miso? It's the same as yesterday. Her just needing attention. She's just being a goober. Let me see if I can get a Miso cam up. I'm gonna have to move it, guys. Let's see if I can do this. Say hi, Miso. Oops. Miso cam. Let me move this back a bit. Miso's like, why did you stop petting me? Because I'm moving the Miso cam. There you go. You can see how messy my desk is, sorry. What, Miso? What? What? Yeah. Don't touch the keyboard. Let's see. Let's see. Hikari says it's a seinen. It focuses on the main character and his four newly made friends, their relationship between them and their families, and how those relationships impact them on the day to day, and the relationships with each other. Okay, so yeah, it sounds kind of slice of lifey. Drama. Okay, that makes more sense. You guys get to see my messy desk. My apologies. I didn't clean it up from yesterday yet. She literally just lays on top of my arm. Miso, stop! You cannot keep crawling up my arm, honey. She's like slowly absorbing my arm. It's because she wants me to pet her with both hands. This is how she asks for pets. I have to keep working, baby. Yeah. Yeah, I know. I know. Miso, ma'am, what you need? What you need? Yeah, basically. One hand is not enough. I require both. One of these days she's gonna push a button and it's like the whole stream's gonna go down. There she goes, crawling up my arm again. I give her a finger and she'll take the whole arm. I'm guessing you're using your main tablet. How often do I use my Galaxy Tab? Right now I only use my Galaxy Tab if I'm traveling or for sketching. Like just personal silly little doodles. I don't really use it for professional stuff unless I'm traveling. Um, I have the same basic brushes also on my tablet. Um, so I can still ink if I need to. I can still sketch if I need to, but I don't typically use the Galaxy tab for like final artwork. I can still do final artwork if I need to. So like for example, almost the entirety of this particular page was done on my Galaxy tab. Almost this entire page was. Um, yeah, because I did this page when I was at TCAF up in Toronto. So almost this entire page was done over there, almost all of it. The only thing that wasn't was the lettering, and then some of the foliage and like this bottom one here. Because I don't have the brush on my tablet for that one. But yeah, almost all of this was done. Even like the lines and stuff, it's really easy to set up a ruler. Was done like on my Galaxy tab. So I can do final art on my Galaxy tab. It's harder because of the size of the tablet, and there's no easy way to like prop it up. I mean, I have a little like case for it, but I don't like the angle that it sits at. I don't have like I don't have anything to like manually help me keep it at the angle that I need it to. So typically with my Galaxy tab, I'll like only use it for sketching or for planning or drafting, that kind of stuff. And then I'll do all the final work on my laptop. Because I don't use a desktop, I use a laptop. I don't think I've ever owned a desktop in my life. Just a laptop. Miso. I do not know what button you pushed. There we go. It's so good. We got it. We got it, Miso. We got it. There you go. Just be careful with that keyboard, Miso. Oh, nice. Specifically, I have an Asus Gamer Republic laptop. That's what I use. It's pretty old by now. I think it's like, oh gosh, it's like 4 or 5 years old now. I use that as like my primary computer. And then the tablet that I use is a Wacom Cintiq, not the Pro, just the Wacom 16 that came out in 2019, I believe. So that's the tablet that I use. And then for the Samsung, it's a Galaxy Tab S8 Plus. Watch the buttons. I'll use this to show you guys what I would do afterwards. So let's assume that all these lines are done. I mean, it looks really cool when you zoom out. It's worth the pain in the butt that it is to do all of these lines, because they just look really cool once it's all done. Once I'm done with this, what I'll end up doing is I'll put this into a different color, like red. That way it'll like stand out from itself. And now what's really cool is I can see both. I mean, I'm not colorblind, but I can see like my sketch, and then I can see like the background lines that I'm gonna end up having behind it. So if I want to go in and start like doing actual line art, it's really easy. I have my blue sketch layer, but I forgot. What I do these days is, and this saved me a lot of time for Onami, is I just duplicate the sketch layer, and I just go with it. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to clean up all of the stuff that I don't need, which is like most of it. Like I don't need any of this background stuff. I don't need any of that. Pro tip, get your lasso eraser, your lasso fill, set it to clear, and you can just erase stuff really quickly. I don't need any of these bubbles because I have a brush for that. So basically what I'm going to do now is I'm going to come clean up the sketch a bit and get ready for inking. What I'll do is I'll clear out the lines that I made for the fins. Those I will manually redraw. I'm not going to try to clean those up. So what I'll do is I'll go in and I'll delete all of those. That way I can have the freedom to put in brand new ones. Whoops, I needed that line. Just to kind of show you guys how eventually I'm going to end up like progressing. Sorry, it's a little bit harder to do all of this when I've only got one hand, so. That's why I try not to worry too much about like how things look, because I'm just gonna erase like a lot of it later. Try not to stress too much about that, and I'll be able to come in and clean it up a lot more later. So, but the reason why I do this is I try to keep the looseness of the original sketch. I don't want to redraw too much. I don't think she had an underbelly when I did the final drawing of her. If I try to make it too clean, it'll make it stiffer. And I don't want, like, stiff artwork. So usually, I'll just come in here and start cleaning up the sketch over, like, like redoing stuff. Like, completely from scratch. Just doesn't get quite the same result. And this coral and stuff, I'm gonna be fine making that its own layer. So I'm not gonna worry about it right now. Because a lot of it I will end up redrawing manually from like custom brushes. How do you sync your work between the tablet and the laptop? That's the only way you can do it. That's literally the only way that you can do it. You cannot do it any other way. Well, I mean, okay, it depends. If you're using the like the page management system that EX has, there is no other way that I'm aware of. You have to do that. That's the only way that I know of. If you're doing like standard Clip Studio files, you can like you can port something over. However, like if you send yourself like a CSP file, you have to put it into like the Clip Studio file system on the tablet. So like you can't just like send a file over and it'll open. Like you can't just like download a CSP file and open it and it'll open. I don't think that that's how that works. Because I tried and it didn't work. So unfortunately, the cloud was the only way that the cloud is the only way that I can send stuff over. Because like 99% of the stuff that I do with it is using the EX page management system, and so I'm kind of like stuck with it. At least that I'm aware of. I'll go ahead and take this out because I already have a drawing of Pawn. I'm gonna throw that in there. File open. Oh, it's in the master file. I didn't realize like I had such a large version of this. We'll just do this big one then. See, work smarter, not harder, kids. Work smarter, not harder. Me, so I would really love to have my arm back. I don't like how that looks. Yeah, I have the same problem. When I move my stuff over, it can take a while to get it transferred over. I have the same problem. It's definitely not the best part about Clip Studio. Like the file syncing taking so long. But I don't really think there's another alternative unless you want to try to hunt that down. I love being pinged and Discord not telling me why I'm being pinged. Hang on, guys. This might be a work thing. Let me double check. Where did my mouse go? Oh, it's not a work thing. Oh, general Discord ping, not work related. I thought it was work related. Never mind. Because I'm in the global comics server, like as a mod, I get pinged sometimes, and so I thought it was a ping for work. I mean, I'm not on clock yet, but. Cleaning up files kinda sucks. Takes a little while, but. It's alright, it's worth it, because you can get some really fun drawings with it. If you're willing to be patient with your lines, if you're willing to be patient with it. Oops. Yeah, I'm honestly I'm not sure. Like I said, I didn't worry too much about it. I was like, you know what, because I really don't want to lose my file. You know what I mean? I'd really rather not play with it like that. So I kind of just gave up. I folded really quickly, and I was like, you know what, I'll just use the main system. I'm not about to mess with that. So I folded pretty quickly, to be honest. If you can find another way, go for it. But I personally don't know of another way. I am not tech savvy, like, at all. And so, usually if it comes to tech issues, I'll just do whatever the easiest thing is, because that's not a battle that I care to fight. I really don't care. Like, as long as my stuff is on the tablet, like, that's all I care about. And it's very, very, very rare where, like, is it gonna matter how long it takes me to get it on my tablet? No. Is it frustrating? Yeah, but if that's the worst of it, I literally don't care. About like how long my work takes to transfer. Not a battle that I'm gonna give two shits about, honestly. I've got bigger fish to fry. And the only reason I really cared is, like, I wanted to be able to take Onami with me for, like, some of the cons that I went to, so that I could still, like, keep working on it. That was the only reason why I even cared at all. I'm gonna open my cover really quick. I might stop here really soon, just because I need to eat breakfast still. I've not eaten yet. Yeah, Elodie might have an idea. I'm pretty sure they go between devices. Yeah, yeah, definitely. Yeah, that can be like a big draw for a lot of people. Is the portability that it gives you. Not getting the look that I want. Whoops. Whoops. Yes, that way is a little easier. Hey, Dean, what's up? You made it just in time. Got about 6 minutes left on the timer, so probably draw these in later. How you doing? This creates a really bad tangent. How can I fix that? That's unfortunate. That's a terrible tangent. Hey, what's up? Madi Varman? Is that how I pronounce your name? My apologies if I say Madi. Is it Madi Varman? Behrman? I'm so sorry. Can you tell me how to pronounce your name? I try to make sure I pronounce everyone's names correctly, so I apologize. Maddie? Okay. Good to know. Thank you very much. Welcome to the stream. Okay. Sorry, there might be a little bit of a delay. My apologies. Oh, okay. Okay, nice to see you. Yeah, I agree to that. Yeah, sometimes there's a delay between like when I like actually say something and then when you guys hear it. So I think that's probably what happened. My apologies. Just working on some a poster. And I'll be going to work here shortly. Nice. Oh, it's so small. Where's the miso? Yeah, you all done? Big stretch. Probably turn off the cam. Oh, I didn't realize you all knew each other. That's wild. Small world, isn't it? There you go. Get yourself a little team going. Heck yeah. Hey, if it works, it works. Right? Why Shonen Jump? Like, why does it have to be Shonen Jump? I think y'all should focus on winning some contests first. One step at a time, fam. Oof. That was my back. Making a one-off manga one-shot? Well, I mean, that's what a one-shot is. One-shots are not meant to have extra stuff after them. The reason why magazines and, like, the one-shot program exists is typically one-shots are considered, like, a trial by fire. So there's two ways to approach a one-shot, right? So, like, a one-shot, the way you should approach it, in my personal opinion, this is my personal opinion, it's not fact, is, like, a one-shot should be a complete story that does not need anything else. However, if you are able to come up with something else to, like, follow up the story or, like, add more to it, cool. But I feel like a lot of people these days approach one-shots as a chapter 1, or they approach one-shots as a pilot, and that's not what they're meant to be. However, when it comes to, like, the reason why Viz is using one-shots as sort of like a test for, like, their series, their originals program, is because in Japan, typically what you can do is you can send in a one shot to a magazine and they'll publish it in the magazine. And if it does well, then they may grant you a short series. So like they use one shots as sort of like to test an idea or to test a concept to see if there's interest. So they use them in that way. And then there's the other way to do one shots is to just make a one shot because you want to and then just do nothing with it. And then, you know, if you have a bunch of one shots, you can sort of like collect it into an anthology, and then sell them together as a collection of short stories. So there's a couple different things you can do with one shots, and I think it's always valuable to learn how to do one shots because it's surprisingly hard to make them. You would think a short story would be easy, but it's really difficult. So sometimes like simpler stories are easier. Like for example, I already have a lot of Onami written, because Onami is part of my Godsbane world, and so like I developed Onami alongside Godsbane. So there's a lot of lore, there's a lot of history, there's a lot of stuff that happens in Onami, like in the version that I know. And boiling it down to only 47 pages was really difficult. I'm like, okay, that's why it feels like there's more, because there is. So like I had to like reduce it to like its core story. And its core story is like Pawn, like going through the tower. Like that's its core story. Of course there's like a bunch of stuff afterwards. Like the whole of Onami is sort of like all of Pawn's lore. From like his start at the tower to like the other abilities that he gets and other gods and creatures that he meets. You know, like there's like two girls that control the tides. There's another god that controls the storms, that like the god makes rain to give the water back to the sea that the sea lets the land borrow. So like there's like that kind of stuff in there that I would really love to get to talk about. But it's up to Viz. It's up to the editors if I get more. So we'll see. So technically, yes, Onami was completed only because the original one shot that I made was made in 2020 before the Jump Tezuka competition. Here, I'll go ahead and zoom out while I'm rambling and let you guys kind of see where I'm stopping for today. But yeah, so the original Onami was done in 2020, and focused on Pawn fighting Amat, which is the same villain of Godsbane. Because in the original lore, this is not canon anymore, but in the original lore, Pawn was made as an offering to Amat, like himself. He was like a little clay figurine made to be an offering. And Amat got really offended. Amat is the god of death, in the Godsbane. He's like my world's version of Hades, basically. And he got really offended. He's like, you think this is good enough for me? It's literally dirt. That's gross, basically. And he attacked Pawn and like threw him in the ocean. And since Pawn is made from clay, I mean, he's not gonna drown, but he just like sank to the bottom of the ocean as like a broken figurine. And in the original version, Oma was like a giant oarfish, and she like found his, like, I guess you could say like remains or whatever, which they were just like broken pieces of clay. And like revived him and was like, hey, what happened? And so she like ends up helping him get back to the surface. That's the original version. It's a very different story. So when I actually ended up like so the way that it basically worked is like I submitted the original version of Onami to Hisashi-san. And he gave me feedback, but he liked the overall story. And he's like, yeah, we can work on this. So we did. And so I redrew it a couple times. So basically I would redraw the sketches. Well, I would redraw it, and when you work with, like, when you're working with an editor like that, you submit to them what's called a name, or nim. And it's basically like the storyboards or sketches, and then from there you get feedback, like what works well, what isn't working well, like he's like, okay, well, let me ask you some questions on what you were trying to do, and then I'll offer suggestions on how you could communicate that better. And then like I also get the chance to ask him questions, and then he's like, "Great, sounds good. Submit it again." When go work on it again. I'm like, okay. So then I redo the sketches, and then we get more feedback. So it's all right. I have to head off soon anyway because I've got a meeting in about 2 minutes, so I have to head off soon. But yeah, I basically, it's okay, Hikari, no worries. Like, I've actually gotten this question a lot, and not everyone's there for the answer, so it's okay, no worries. But yeah, so basically, Hisashi-san and I just, like, worked together on the story, yeah. Yeah, I can answer your question really quick, and then I have to go. Like, I have to go, I cannot be late for this meeting, so, I'll go ahead and take your question. Because this is work, this isn't, like, funsies. I'm gonna go ahead and save stuff and start shutting down. You can do both. If you submit to the Viz one-shot program, you can do either or. The very first time you submit, they want to have, like, finished stuff. That was one thing that I got wrong in the video that I made, and I need to, like, add an addendum to that. They do prefer the very first time you submit to submit finished pages. That way they can see how it looks. But you are allowed to submit stuff that's a work in progress. So, like, if you only want to finish maybe, like, 5 or 6 pages to give them an idea of, like, what a finished page looks like, and then do the rest sketches, you can do that. They don't mind taking works in progress. So either one is fine. My suggestion, though, would be to include character artwork, like, include clean character art. That way they can see what your character designs look like. That definitely would be something they would appreciate, I'm sure. Anyway, I have to go. Thank you guys for joining me. I appreciate it. I'm gonna go ahead and go to work. So I will see you guys tomorrow. Yep, thank you so much, and have a great day. Ciao!